Quite often when you go out shooting with your camera, you'll probably see a scene that you think's interesting, frame it up a bit and then zoom around with your zoom to try and get the composition that you want. But there is a much better way of doing things than this. If you consider your zoom as a selection of prime lenses, by prime lenses I mean lenses which can't zoom, they have fixed focal lengths like 18, 40, 50, 90, 150, whatever it may be. If you use a prime lens, you can't zoom, so you have to move yourself backwards and forwards in order to frame the shot that you want. When you start controlling your focal length, you can control what the picture looks like, what's in it and what isn't. But how do you know which focal length you're going to need for which shots that you're going to take? I'm going to show you, but to do so I'm going to need a nice friendly helpful assistant called Natasha. Hello Nat.
Hi.
Hello. This is Jane's daughter Natasha, and she's kind of, well, I guess I'm your evil stepdad. Am I that bad?
Oh, I can put up with you, Mike.
Oh, she's sweet. Right, Nat, could you come and stand here for a mo?
Okay.
Just about, go that way a little bit. There we go, perfect. Supposing Natasha and I were standing, I don't know, in the garden or something rather than in the street, which is a little odd, I might just think, oh, there's Nat, that'd make a nice picture, stand there and zoom around, and I'll just sort of zoom in and out like that and take a picture, and it's going to be okay, but I could get a better result if I chose the focal length for the shot. I'm going to show you a little exercise here, which I would like you to repeat afterwards. What I'm going to do is take the same picture of Natasha over and over again, but at different focal lengths, so you can see what happens to the environment around her. Now, this is going to involve a bit of lens changing and fiddling around, so you may have to bear with me for a minute. Nat, can we go over here? The reason I've chosen the middle of a street is because you need somewhere which has got sides that go off into the distance, then that has an end behind. Now it's really important when you compose your shot, you compose it exactly the same each time. So I'm going to give Natasha probably about a hand's width of sky above her head. That's going to be the very top of the picture, and the bottom of the picture is going to be this seam at the top of her dress. That will be at the bottom of the frame each time. So first off, 10mm. Now I'm going to get right into your personal space here, Nat. So get the seam at the top of your dress and only a handful of sky. There it is. Oh, no, there it is. Perfect. Now, zoom the lens. I'm going to double it to 20mm. Do the same thing. Now that's made Nat come closer, so I've got to move back a bit. Now it's only subtle. There it is. Right, now we're going to a longer lens. Now, from 20mm, oh, I hate camera straps, drive me in the bend. Let's go to 35mm. So, frame the same shot. Now I have to move back because the lens has got longer. Again, hand breadth of sky, seam on the dress, excellent. Let's double that, let's go out to 70mm. So again, Natasha's really filling the frame now because it's zoomed in onto her. So I move back a bit and very carefully line up. This is a great exercise. Oh, you blinked. Don't blink. Right, there we go. Right, now we want to go out further. I'm going to have to change the lens because the next set of focal lengths go out a long way. We're going to go from 10mm right out to 500. That means I'm going to use a whopper of a lens. Even if you don't have lenses of this kind of focal length, please go and repeat this exercise because it really will help you understand what on earth it is I'm talking about. Now, we did the last one at 70, I'm going to do the next one at 150. So I've set the zoom on the lens. I'm not going to zoom in and out, I'm going to frame the shot up with Natasha. Oh look, that wasn't a bad guess. I've actually got to go a little bit closer. Here we go, and it's train your eye to look all around the viewfinder to line up these gaps, like the bottom of the dress and the hand breadth of sky. Let's zoom that on out to 250. Again, Natasha will have come closer in the lens, so I've got to move back to get the same shot. Here we go, line up the elements, the gap at the top and the seam on the dress. And then finally we're going to go all the way out from 250 to 500mm. So I'm moving back again. The environment behind Natasha is changing with each of these shots. And this one, I promise, you would never know we were standing in a street. But there's a lot of fiddling to get this right. Still too close. There it is. Good stuff. Nat, come and have a look. So, beginning at 10mm. Here we go. Here you are at 10mm.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you see how it's pulled Natasha's face forward. But look, I've got the bottom of the picture is the seam of the dress, top of the picture, about a handbreadth of sky. As we move on from 10 to 20, see how it's changed? Natasha's gone a more normal shape. Also, look, the cars have the cars and the houses have jumped forward as we flick between them. Moving on out from there, I think we went to 50, which is a much more normal looking Natasha. And as we move on through, oh, we want the other camera, because we're now out to 100 or so. Do you see how everything's starting to take a step forward each time we extend the focal length? Until now you don't know you're in a street, and we get to the very last shot, there's no hint of a house or anything. We've just got a clear grey background, which is actually the tarmac of the street as it goes off up the hill in the distance. This is all you need to do. It doesn't matter what you practice this with. If you don't have a Natasha to take into the street, just put your camera bag on a table in the park or something like that and take the same shot over and over again, changing the focal length and moving back so that you get the idea of what's going on to the environment, and then look at all the pictures one after the other. This isn't just the realm of a digital SLR. You could do the same thing with a little compact camera, anything that has a zoom on it. If you're cycling along the seawall, you might not want to carry a monster like that. Natasha, would you mind? We're going to do a very brief one. Here we go, over there a bit. If I set the zoom to its widest, take the same picture of Natasha, getting right into her personal space. Good stuff, Nat. And then zoom it to its longest zoom, do the same thing, move back. You know, if you're at a party, you've got a little camera, you just think, oh, I want to take a picture. There we go. As you can see, the two are very, very different. Don't just think, I'm going to go and try this in the morning. Once you start treating your zoom lens as a series of prime lenses and moving yourself around, not being lazy, you'll really set loose the magic of your camera and your photography. Don't leave it. Get out there right this minute. Go and try this.